One of the reasons I made this video, guys, was just to kind of destigmatize things like this, because a lot of people think about them, but they don't. They're kind of concerned what other people think about them if they get that done. Like, oh, you're superficial, or you don't need that, or...
He's not faking this, hiding it from the world, and so good on you, Juju Mufu. Coach Greg, in today's video, Juju Mufu shaves off all of his hair.
I grew my hair out originally because, I like heavy metal, warriors, barbarians, stuff like that.
And so he first grew out his hair because he liked long hair, the punk rock style. He was just a fan of it. Perhaps like the WWE wrestlers, a lot of those guys had long hair, big muscles, long hair, was just something he was into. But over the years, it's become more of a hassle. He doesn't like washing his hair. It's hard to upkeep. He has more bad hair days than good. So he said, enough is enough. Not to mention the fact that he had a receding hairline. He says that's due to genetics and, of course, using performance-enhancing drugs, of which he's 100% transparent. And so he said, time for a change.
If I'm going to go ahead and go for a short hairstyle, I might as well go the extra mile and go ahead and reorganize the hair follicles in my head.
And so he says, well, since I'm cutting off all my hair, I may as well have a hair transplant surgery. Many of you know that I, in fact, did the same thing only 2 years ago. Also, Chris Bumstead, Ian Valair, both of these guys, they traveled to Turkey. They also have hair transplant surgery. Hair transplant surgery, it's becoming more common than ever before. And people are thinking, oh, how are you so vain? Why would you bother to do that? I mean, aren't you a man's man? Men don't care about their hair. Are you kidding me? So many men care about their hair. Men are just as vain as women. It's not like the 1940s where men could just look the way they want and no one would care. In today's day and age, there are pressure on both men and women to look amazing. Women, for example, will get breast implants. That's a very serious surgery. Think of it. You're putting things into your chest so that you appear to have larger breasts. The hair transplant, you're essentially just taking out follicles and putting them into your front. That, to me, far less intrusive than, for example, getting a BBL, breast implants, and so on.
Sometimes, bleeding is a factor, takes longer if you're fighting through someone that's really active. Especially like you work out a lot.
And so that's interesting. The more you work out, the more active you are, the more bleeding you're going to get. And that can affect how long it takes to actually perform the hair transplant surgery. For the most part, it's done within 8 hours. It's a long time you're laying down. But many of you have had tattoos. Perhaps you've laid even longer. Now, they do offer pills, numbing creams, and so on to prevent it from hurting. And so I would highly recommend that you go for these things. Nothing worse than laying down for 8 hours and being in pain. And so imagine they're pulling hairs out and then re-putting them back in. That is a lot of pain. You're poking and prying. It would be very similar to getting a tattoo.
Age is a factor. Hair loss slows down probably around 45.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
For most, it does.
And so she's suggesting that after the age of 45, that men, they usually lose their hair a lot slower. Now consider I'm 48, got mine done at 46. Have you ever seen me missing most of my hair? It wasn't as if I was losing a lot of hair. However, in the crown, there was in fact some balding spots. And so I simply went and got more hair put in here, a little bit more in the front.
Just, we've been, 6 hours here? Face down on this.
And so he spent the first 6 hours on his face pulling out the hairs from the back. And so imagine, that is a lot of work. 6 hours in a laying down position. I find it difficult even 1 hour if I'm getting a massage.
You ever had anyone want to transplant the hair in a different part of their body, like their balls or...
Yes.
Really?
And so imagine that. People are transplanting their hair into their downstairs. But I mean, hey, to each their own. Do what makes you happy.
Maria, how many years have you been doing this?
Since 2002, so about 21 years.
Yeah.
And so if you think this is a new surgery, she's been doing it for 21 years, since 2002. And so it's nothing new. This is a very common practice. Many people thinking, oh, if you're a man and you get a hair transplant, that makes you weird. Perhaps you have no confidence and no self-esteem. That would be like telling any woman that if she puts on makeup, she has no confidence or no self-esteem. Yet almost all women wear makeup. And just think of it. You go to the gym and you work out, you want to have a more aesthetic physique. You are perhaps getting skin cream, lotion, and even as men, you're getting a fresh fade, fresh haircut each and every week. Of course you're doing it for vanity. You want to look your best. But is there anything wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with dressing up with a nice pair of shoes, clean clothes? I don't think so.
What are you doing?
Not working out. I have exercise restrictions.
And so that is one of the things I was not really aware of, that after you get a hair transplant surgery, you're not recommended to train for an entire month. You're not supposed to sweat, make the hair grafts not as strong. And so it's frowned upon to work out after it's done. I, for one, took about 3 days off. I then started bike riding, not going very hard, but I had a lot of fans. You want to be careful. You want to never touch your head or bounce into things. Remember, I was not willing to sacrifice an entire month in the gym just to have some more hair. And so if my hair all fell out, whatever. I was happy before I had the surgery, happy after I had the surgery. And so in the end, it doesn't matter.
Are you even you if you can't work out?
I'm sad. I'm not going to lie. I'm sad, but I know why I'm sad, and I know it fixes it, and that's exercise, and I'll be able to do that again.
And so he's kind of feeling sad. He's feeling a bit run down. He's not able to go to the gym. He can't train, and that is his passion. Remember how many of you felt that way during that time when you had to wear these Halloween masks? You remember feeling that way? They restricted you from going to the gym for whatever reasons that they thought was beneficial. But yet, did it really make you feel good mentally, physically, socially, spiritually? I don't think so. The world was probably the saddest it's been in decades. And so totally can understand how it would feel to not be able to go to the gym. When I broke my elbows and had to stop training for a few days, that was very debilitating. I hated it. When I had hip surgery and I had to not go to the gym for 2 days, that was also frustrating. Or when I have pneumonia and I can't train for almost a week, very difficult. And so I truly understand what it's like to not be able to do what you love.
One of the reasons I made this video, guys, was just to kind of destigmatize things like this, because a lot of people think about them, but they don't. They're kind of concerned what other people think about them if they get that done, like, oh, you're superficial, or you don't need that. Or
And so Juju Mufu talks about how people are judging you. They say that you're superficial, but remember, they're projecting their feelings onto you. They, for some reason, feel this way, and so what they're doing is they're trying to take you down. Anyone that's putting you down for something, they somehow feel insecure about that in their own way. Think of it. Why would they judge you? Why would they put you down for something that you choose to do? You're not putting it on them. He's not saying everyone that's balding should go out and get hair transplant surgery. Why would he say that? He's saying he wanted to get it done. And so why does it matter what he wants to do? Why can't we let other people do what makes them happy?
let's face it, people build muscle to feel good, and this cosmetic.
And so, yeah, after all, does it not take a real man, a man's man, to admit, I'm doing this for cosmetic reasons. I just want to look better. There's nothing wrong with being in tune with your feelings and telling the world exactly how you feel. Rather be an open book than be a closed off version of myself. I'd rather overshare than undershare. If somebody doesn't like you, so be it. Somebody else will. But imagine being a fake person all the time. Imagine pretending to be somebody that you're not just to appease or to pretend that everyone likes you. Who cares? If everyone likes the fake version of yourself, do they really like you? Or are they liking who you're pretending to be? I'd rather have 5 good friends that like me for me than 1,000 friends that like me for being someone else.
I don't need this, but I want it.
And so Juju says, I didn't need it. I wanted it. And I'm owning it. And you can say what you want. I don't care, because he's a real man's man. He will own up to his feelings. He's not hiding it. He's open and transparent. He's not faking this, hiding it from the world. And so good on you, Juju Mufu.
I'm okay. So there we go.
You are okay.
You guys are okay.
And so let me know in the comments section, what are your feelings on hair transplant surgery now? Perhaps you hate it when Coach Greg did it. Oh my goodness. Holy jeez. How funny is it? It's a video with me and Juju in it right now. Biggest Men Take Over Planet Fitness, featuring Thor, Hooper, Martins, Greg Doucette. So the next video, Coach Greg making an appearance with Juju Mufu. Actually, we hung out in Orlando. It's a great guy. It was great to meet him. Had great conversations. Can't wait to meet him again. And so let me know in the comment section, do you now think it's okay to get hair transplant surgery? Are you a wuss? Are you just some kind of pretty boy for doing this? Or is this something that you think is normal? Is it going to be normalized? When Coach Greg did it, perhaps it was like, what's up with that? What a loser. But now that you know that Ian Valaire, Chris Bumstead, and Juju Mufu have done it, and there are so many more, do you now think it's perhaps a little bit more normalized? Can we not just get hair transplant surgeries if we want? Is it really that much different than going to dentist and getting your teeth whitening? Or perhaps you got braces. You wanted to have a better smile. Does that make you a bad person? Does that make you insecure, that you somehow don't love yourself? I do believe it's possible to love yourself, but love yourself enough to do something about it to make you the best version of yourself. For example, if you're 400 pounds, you can love your body. You can love it enough to lose some weight, to go for a walk, to eat healthy, to make it a healthier body. And so why is it bad to want to look better? And so we're interested to see your comments now. What do you think of hair transplant surgery? And of course, all of the supplement line, Coach Greg, harder than last time. We have so many supplements. Go and head over to the website. And of course, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans from me and my team, the Circle Diet book, the harder than last time clothing line. Please use code Greg to save your 10%. Click the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it, watch one of those two boops. Don't forget to pick up your free diet and training program. Remember, it's very specific to your needs. It could have sold it for $100. Not, it's free. Head over to my website and don't forget to become a newsletter subscriber. And until next time, I am out.